The beeps sounded wrong. 3 short, 1 long. Pause. Jada knew the pattern of her register like a heartbeat. She knew the price of milk by the rhythm in her fingers. She knew the weight of coins, the slide of bills, the click of the drawer. Tonight, the sounds were off. The store lights hummed. The camera above aisle 3 blinked. A line formed. A storm built outside on the street. She handed a customer his change. He frowned. He looked at the receipt. He rubbed his thumb down the ink line, then pocketed it with a shrug. Next customer. A mother with a toddler who clutched a plastic truck. Then a teenager with headphones. Then an older man with a newspaper tucked under his arm. The beep stayed wrong. Victor Langford watched from his glass office. He wore a fine jacket. His watch flashed under the light. The office window gave him a full view of Lane 1, Jada's lane. He did not blink much. He tracked every move. He tapped a pen on his desk. Jada kept the line moving. She smiled. She asked about the weather. She matched the rhythm of each shopper. But something was off. The drawer reported a shortage at the last audit. She knew her till always balanced. She worked clean. She counted twice. She locked the drawer at breaks. Tonight the numbers had a shadow. The office door opened. Victor's shoes sounded sharp. He walked straight to the counter. He leaned on the edge, close enough to feel like a block, far enough to be polite in a way that felt false. "We have a problem," he said. His tone made the whole front end quiet. Naomi at lane 2 slowed her scan. Felix in produce looked over stacks of oranges. The teenager pulled one earbud free. The mother drew her toddler close. "What problem?" Jada asked. Calm voice. Hands still. "The counts," he said. "Your drawer came up short at noon. It came up short last night. Now it is short again." Jada looked at the small screen. The screen showed a number. The number did not match her own tally. She had written each transaction in her notebook during lunch. The numbers did not match on purpose. "I log every sale," she said. "I keep every receipt. You know this." He smiled without warmth. "Receipts do not balance a drawer," he said. "Good habits do. We will fix this before close." He turned to the line. "Everyone," he called out. "New policy. No cash back at this lane for now. Use card. Use exact change." "Thank you." He walked back to the office. The glass swallowed him whole. Jada lifted her chin. Her palm steadied on the counter. She rang the next customer. She handed the exact coins. She kept the paper trail clean. Every slip, every number, every name when offered. If you believe this story matters, support the channel. Tap subscribe. Hit like. Drop a comment with your first thought about Jada. Share the link with a friend who cares about fairness. The night ran long. 9, 10. A late rush met a sudden rain. Umbrellas dripped on the tiles. A bus dropped a group from the community center. The line bent through the snack aisle. Jada kept pace. She avoided the temptation to rush. Rushing broke math. Rushing broke trust. Victor stepped out again. He moved to lane 3. He spoke to the shift lead. He looked back at Jada. He spoke into his headset. The security lead nodded. The camera above aisle 3 tilted. Jada saw the small shift of glass and metal. She felt a coil of heat in her chest. Not anger. Not yet. Resolve. She counted the coins wrong in a whisper in her mind, then corrected it. She rang out a carton of eggs. The eggs were marked on sale. The tag on the shelf read $2.99. The register scanned $3.49. The beeps were wrong on purpose. "Price check on eggs," she called. Victor appeared without a delay. "No need," he said. "The system is correct." Jada kept her eyes on the customer. The customer wore a blue cap. "Ma'am, your receipt will show $3.49. The shelf showed $2.99. I will adjust by hand." She typed the adjustment. She printed the slip. She stapled it to the main receipt. The customer thanked her. The customer looked at Victor, then back to Jada. The customer slipped the receipt into a wallet with care. "This will not stand," Victor said. "Lane 1 on break. Now." Naomi glanced over. Jada lifted her hand once to let Naomi know she was all right. She turned off her light. She walked to the break room. Victor followed. He closed the door. He kept his posture tall. He did not sit. Your drawer is short $53, he said. Yesterday it was 32. The day before that, 20. I will not allow this pattern. Jada looked at him for a long second. She had worked at Langford Market for 3 years. She had never missed a shift. She had covered holidays. She had trained new hires with patience. She knew where the bleach sat. She knew which freezer needed a kick. She knew how to calm a crowd when a storm knocked out the car machines. She knew the shape of the job. I keep a personal log, she said. I also keep photos of the price tags when a scan rings wrong. I keep customer names when they offer. I keep each manual adjustment slip. We will check all of them. We will do it now. He laughed once. Short. He leaned in. You do not set the process, he said. I do. Hand me your apron. We will count alone. No, she said. We count with a witness. We count with Naomi. Or we wait until audit. No closed doors. No missing slips. His jaw set. His eyes stayed cool. You are on thin ice, he said. I am on solid ground, she said. They stood in the stale break room. The hum of the soda fridge filled the silence. A water stain in the ceiling formed a shape like a map. Jada looked at the stain, then back to him. She took out her phone. She opened her notes. She placed the phone face up on the table. Here is my log. Time. Amount. Payment method. If you plan to accuse me, you will do it on record. Or you will allow a fair review. He stared at the phone. He reached out. He flipped it over with 2 fingers. The screen went dark. We start now, he said. Naomi pushed the door open before he could speak again. Her eyes flashed. Audit wants a spot check, she said. Right now. District is on the line. They want a conference. You and Jada. Office. Victor stood still for a second. Then he nodded once. He moved past Naomi. His shoulder brushed the frame. Naomi placed her hand on Jada's arm. Small squeeze. You good? She asked. I am, Jada said. Thank you. They walked to the office. The glass walls made the room feel like a stage. Staff drifted by slower than usual. Customers peered in as they passed. The phone on the desk already blinked. The district manager spoke with a bright tone that tried to be friendly and firm at once. Victor, I see the shortage flags. We need clarity. Jada, thanks for joining. We will walk through the tape. Tape, Jada asked. Yes, the manager said. The system logs tape. The price feed pushes to a buffer. Every manual override writes a marker. We will compare that to your till. We will check sale tags versus system tags. We will resolve any gap. Victor's mouth opened, then closed. He sat. Roll it, the manager said. The screen flickered. Time stamps ran in the corner. The camera showed lane 1. It showed eggs. It showed shelf tags. It showed Jada placing adjustment slips on the receipts. It showed a hand, not hers, removing the slip at the bagging area during rush. Slow the feed, Jada said. They slowed it. The hand wore a ring with a square face. The camera angle caught a rough reflection. Victor's watch. The room cooled. The staff outside slowed more. Naomi stood in the doorway now. Felix hovered behind her. Even the hum of the store seemed softer. The manager spoke into the speaker. I see a removal of documentation. Victor, explain. He reached for words. They did not come. Jada spoke. I place every adjustment with a staple. I give the customer a copy when asked. I keep a copy for audit. If those slips go missing, the till reads short. The register marks the voids as gaps. The system flags me. The person who removed the slips created the shortage. Victor stared at the screen. His face did not change. His eyes shifted once to the glass. He saw the staff gathered. He saw the line now stalled. He saw the weight of the moment. The manager's tone hardened. We will pause store operations. We will count all lanes. We will cross-check the video with the override markers. Victor, step out. Jada, thank you for your precision. He stood. He looked at Jada. His face carried a small crack now. He opened the door. He stepped through the crowd. Heads turned away as he passed. Not a single greeting met him. Naomi exhaled. Jada sat. Her hands shook once. She kept them flat on the desk. Breath in, breath out. If you want more stories like this, subscribe now. Your support keeps the series going. Tap subscribe, like this video. Share it with your community. Comment with one word that sums up this moment. They counted through midnight. Price tags were wrong in 5 aisles. The back office had delayed uploads from the weekly sale list. The system scanned old prices in several spots. Jada had caught each one at her lane. The slips proved it. The missing slips matched the exact dollar amounts of the shortage flags. The tape aligned. At 2 a.m, the manager called back. The voice was no longer bright. It was clear and direct. Jada, you followed policy. You protected customers from overcharge. You kept a clean trail. You prevented loss. We will correct the records and credit your bonus. Victor will step away pending review. Naomi will cover as acting manager. A small cheer rose outside the office. Someone clapped. Someone else shushed. Then laughter, soft and tired. Jada nodded once. Thank you, she said. She left the office. She walked to the front. Staff hugged her. Customers who had waited came back to shake her hand. The elder with the newspaper pressed her palm in both of his. You kept the receipts, he said. Good, good. She went home on the 3 a.m. bus. Rain had stopped. Streets shone under streetlights. She unlocked her door. She placed her notebook on the table like it was a fragile egg. She slept 4 hours, then woke to the buzz of her phone. Messages lit the screen. Naomi, Felix, 2 customers. A number she did not know. It was a district manager asking to meet that morning. 9 a.m. The office looked different in daylight. The glass looked more clear. The room smelled like coffee. The manager sat with a folder open. A new HR rep sat beside her. They offered Jada a seat. We reviewed the past 90 days. The manager said, we reviewed the entire store's price adjustments. Your accuracy rate sits at 99.9. The only misses were system faults already corrected. We also reviewed employee complaints about climate and tone. We have work to do. We want your help. We want you to lead training on fair pricing and receipt handling. We want a community forum in the store next week. We want to post a new policy at the entrance. Jada straightened. She heard her own pulse. She heard her child's laughter from the night before flicker in her mind. She saw Naomi outside the office. She looked at the HR rep. I will do it, she said, but we need more. We need a written guarantee that no one will count a drawer alone. We need a camera fixed to watch the bagging area. We need a paper copy of price updates at the customer service desk. We need a receipt board. We need pay for staff who stay late after audits. We need a number posted for district. The community must have a line. The manager took notes. The HR rep nodded. Done, the manager said. We will post a list. We will add a QR code for price disputes. We will also issue you an apology from the company, in writing and in person. Tonight, that evening, the apology happened at 6. The store was full. People from the neighborhood came. The councilwoman came. The local paper came. A youth group came with handmade signs that read fair counts. Real prices. Naomi opened the forum with a simple statement. Thank you for coming. This store serves our community. We will earn trust with proof, not talk. The district manager spoke next. We failed to guard a fair process, she said. Jada protected you. She protected us. We are changing our systems today. She turned to Jada. I apologize to you, she said, on behalf of Langford Market, in public, on paper, and in policy. She handed her a letter. Jada read the first lines, then folded it and placed it in her notebook. The mic went to the councilwoman. She spoke about price accuracy laws. She spoke about the right to correct errors at the shelf. She spoke about simple ways to protect workers. Pair counts, clear signs, community seats at review tables. Then the mic went to Jada. She looked at the crowd. Faces, kids on shoulders, shoppers with baskets tucked under arms, staff in aprons, a man in a suit with an expression that said he still did not get it. Thank you for coming, she said. I am not a hero. I did my job. I wrote things down. I kept the receipts. I asked for a witness. Anyone can do that. We will leave here with rules on the door. We will keep each other honest. If the price tag says one thing and the register says another, point it out. If a manager asks for a private count, say no. If a policy feels wrong, speak loud. We do not fear clarity. We welcome it. The crowd clapped. Naomi looked proud. Felix lifted a bag of oranges like a trophy. A child in the front row waved a small receipt like a flag. If you believe in receipts that match, like this video. If you want more stories where truth wins, subscribe. Share with 2 people who need a spark of courage. Comment with a time you stood firm at work. Your voice matters. The days after the forum brought change. Signs went up by the entrance. Simple rules in plain text. We count tills with 2 people present. We print price updates every morning. We honor the shelf tag. We post a district number for disputes. We keep adjustment slips attached to every receipt. A QR code linked to a live form. Customers submitted price discrepancies. Staff submitted concerns. Jada pinned a copy of the list in the break room and signed her name at the bottom. Naomi signed. Felix signed. The new hire, Ava, signed. The store felt lighter. The beeps fell into a clean pattern again. Victor faced a formal review. HR interviewed staff. They verified the video. They found other gaps. They found a habit of private counts. They found a history of pressure on staff to rush. They found a culture that rewarded speed over accuracy. The company let him go. He came to the store once more. He stood on the sidewalk and looked through the glass. He wore no jacket, no watch. He looked small under the sun. He walked away without stepping inside. 1 month later, a customer came in with a stack of receipts. His name was Derek. He owned a bar on the next block. He had noticed the supplier invoices had started to show small add-ons. Fuel, handling, miscellaneous, each $1 here. 2 there. He had ignored them. Then he watched the forum video online. He came to speak with Jada. I kept them after your talk, he said. Every slip. I called the number on the invoice. The rep tried to smooth me. I asked for documentation. They waived the fees. I kept the receipts. I trained my staff on counts. You changed my business. Jada smiled. You did that, she said. I told a story. You acted. Keep going. A week after Derek's visit, a woman named Elaine came up to the counter. She held her daughter's hand. She wore a teal dress and pearl studs. I saw you that night, she said. You stapled my adjustment slip to the receipt. I taped it to my fridge. My girl asked what it meant. I told her it meant the world runs on small, honest acts. She drew you in her art class. She wanted to bring it to you. The child held out a page. Crayons. Bright. Jada behind a counter. A sign that read fair counts. Jada took the page carefully. Thank you, she said. I will frame this. The video of the forum spread online. People debated. Some dismissed it as a small story. Others said these small stories form a larger truth. You felt the shift in comment threads. You saw it in DMs. You heard it in staff rooms where quiet people found new strength. The store ran 3 more forums. One on wage transparency. One on harassment rules. One on off-the-clock demands. Each ended with a posted list and a phone number. Each felt like a step. One night, an older man came through Jada's lane with a cart of canned goods. He wore a flat cap. He moved with careful steps. He watched Jada with a long, thoughtful look. You remind me of my mother, he said. She worked a register when I was a kid. She taught me to count back change into a palm, coins on top of bills. She taught me to watch the numbers. She kept a ledger by the sink. I lost that ledger when she passed. I miss the feel of those pages. Seeing you, I feel like some things remain. Thank you. Jada's throat tightened. She counted his change back into his hand. Coins on top of bills. Clean. Precise. True. If this scene hit you, press like. Subscribe for weekly justice stories. Share to help more people find courage at work. Tell us in the comments what small rule you would post on a door. The year turned. Jada spoke at a community college class on retail operations. She opened with 5 truths. Write things down. Keep copies. Ask for witnesses. Respect your own work. Never fear clear light. She showed the students a photo of the sign on the store door. She passed around a small stack of sample receipts with adjustment slips attached. She gave them a template for a fair count policy. She answered questions. She helped them plan their own forums. A student named Sonia raised her hand. What if the manager refuses a witness? She asked. You hold your ground, Jada said. You refuse the count. You call a number above their head. You keep your apron on. You stay at the counter. The line stays visible. You do not enter any room alone. You are not rude. You are firm. Another student, Malik, asked how to speak to a crowd when your voice shakes. Speak anyway, she said. Your voice will steady after the first 10 seconds. People do not need a perfect tone. They need clear facts. Jada walked home after class with a small paycheck in her bag. The city felt awake and kind around her. She passed a mural that read, Keep each other honest. She smiled. On a quiet Sunday, she sat at her kitchen table with her notebook. She turned back pages to the night of the first count. She ran her finger over the lines. Time, amount, payment, note. She thought of the first long beep. She thought of the moment the camera caught a hand. She thought of the child who drew her. She thought of the older man's coins. She felt a simple truth run through her like a calm river. You guard the small things. The small things guard you back. She stood. She pinned the child's drawing to the fridge. She brewed tea. She checked her messages. One from Naomi. A photo of a new receipt board at the store. One from the district manager. A draft of a company-wide policy titled Fair Counts and Clear Receipts. One from the councilwoman. A note about a proposed bill on price accuracy enforcement. She wrote back to each with brief words and clear feedback. Keep the language plain. Post the phone number big. Schedule the forums at different hours so night shift workers attend. Give people time to speak without fear. That evening, a knock came at her door. She looked through the peephole. It was Victor. She opened the door a crack. He looked older. The sharp edges had softened. He held an envelope. I owe you an apology in person, he said. I was wrong. I took those slips to protect my own image. I punished you for doing your job. I cost you sleep. I cost you trust. I went home after the review and stared at myself in the mirror until sunrise. It did not help. I am taking a course on ethics now. I am working nights at a different store, not as a manager, as a stocker. I have a lot to learn. He held out the envelope. Jada did not reach for it. Is this a legal letter? She asked. It is a donation receipt, he said. I made a donation to Youth Center down the block in your name. For ledgers and calculators. For trained cards so kids get to class. It is not enough. I know that. Jada looked at his eyes. They did not dart. They held steady. She opened the door. She took the envelope. She nodded once. Thank you for the donation, she said. The rest is not mine to fix for you. Do the work. Show up when no one watches. Start with coins on top of bills. Slow yourself. Respect the small things. He nodded. He stepped back. He left. Jada closed the door. She sat down. She placed the envelope under her notebook. She sent a photo of the receipt to the youth center director. Then she added a line to her 5 truths. She wrote it on the first page. Line 6. Keep receipts of change, even when the change is in people. If this story gave you a clear step, subscribe today. Like the video. Share with 3 workers who need a plan. Comment with 1 rule you will post at your workplace this week. Your action helps someone else stand firm. One last thing before you go. You hold more power than you think when you write things down. You build a wall of facts that no one moves. Take that step now. Subscribe to Echoes of Black Struggles. Turn on notifications. Join a community that stands for fair counts and clear receipts. Then go post your rule on a door